Signature Bank, community banking at its best.
I'm behind Lisa on the bridge, and I have jumped off. I am in the river.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. Come see Sally and Keith at CJ's in Russellville and Keith at CJ's in Fayetteville on the way to and from the games this fall.
By golly, give me those dogs, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline 877-377-6963.
Welcome into the inaugural Hog Reaction of 2023 following an Arkansas Razorback victory over the Western Carolina Catamounts 56-13. So for those that bet money on the Hogs, you not only were happy they won, you also won some money today. Alongside Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. We are live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. Tommy, KJ Jefferson looked pretty on the money today. There's definitely some things that they need to improve, but quarterback is not one of them.
Well, 56 points, and I know you got an interception return for a touchdown, but this was a dominant win. You didn't dominate every area of the game. The passing game early was as sharp as you could be. What was it, the first 12 passes for KJ he completed? There were a lot of really good things that came out of this. Some things that, you know, honestly, you've got to improve before you get to SEC play. But for game one, 56-13, you collected, 5 turnovers in the ball game? That's a pretty good afternoon.
Yeah, I think you take that at this point, including Brad Spence, the young freshman. How cool is that for a freshman in his first college football game of his entire life to take a pick six to the house? So good for Brad. Jane Johnson got one. Hudson Clark got one. Nudie McLaughlin got one. I mean, you had several guys that were making plays out there, and it was fun to watch. Again, now Sam Pittman 13-0 as a Arkansas head football coach when his team wins the turnover battle. Yeah, and in the end today, I mean, I know we're going to get a lot of fan reaction. You're going to have folks come by there, and we're going to unwind this thing with your calls and texts, but there's some things with the running game I know we're going to dive into, and some things that you'd like to see a little stronger. But considering everything that happened today, I think you got to be satisfied. Maybe not pleased, but satisfied with the way the Razorbacks played today. Yeah, and it started out second play from scrimmage for this Arkansas football team. Jaden Wilson went 65 yards.
Pistol ball on the right hash. They're going to throw a bubble left side complete. Lots of room. Jaden Wilson's got a chance to go inside the 40, inside the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. Touchdown, Arkansas. Isaac Tesla threw the home run block. Jaden Wilson scores the touchdown, and they're excited at War Memorial Stadium.
And that ended point that Chuck made, talking about Isaac Tesla making a key block on that bubble streak, doesn't happen without that. I mean, you remember in 2010, 2011 when you had Jarius Wright, Kobe Hamilton, Greg Childs, Chris Gragg, DJ Williams, and others. One of the points that they made just emphatic about every single game was the block, and that was a great block that sprung Jaden today. And you saw some other big-time plays from the wide receivers today as well, Tommy.
And they got off to a fast start. That was something I heard Chuck talking with KJ on the Learfield postgame show about. We've talked about opening drives. They've struggled with that in the past. Not the case today. As you just said, 2 plays. You look at their drive chart today, Arkansas scored touchdowns on their first 2 drives. Had 7 touchdowns on 12 drives today, had touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 possessions. That was the kind of start I think they were absolutely looking for to get the season rolling.
Yeah, and again, when you can start as fast as they did and execute in ways certain points they did, I think you're happy about it. Now, Tommy just said, again, we heard from KJ. We also want to hear from you on the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. Again, this is Hog Reaction. It's brought to you by our friends at the Teague Law Firm, where James Teague is now working with his dad, Robert. Whether it's family law, criminal law, or estate planning, call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. And Teague-law.com is where you're going to find them online. The Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football. And by Signature Bank. Signature Bank, community banking at its best. Products and business services you need with the customer service you deserve. Go to join.signature.bank to open an account today. Just like the Hogs, they were born in Fayetteville. Signature Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And again, we're live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. Tommy, we've had several Arkansas fans that were already in attendance earlier today that have stopped by, and some are eating right now. I'm kind of jealous, to be quite honest.
Now, the stat sheet here, the final stat said it was 82 degrees. I guess at kickoff it was. It certainly warmed up as the day went on, as the margin got wider, the stands cleared out. But it was a better than expected crowd, I thought, in Little Rock today. I've read some commentary online about getting into the game and the concession stand lines and so on and so forth. But, almost 45,000 there today, I thought was a good showing for a game in Little Rock against an FCS opponent.
All right, so let me share some personal insight from some fans that were talking to me, because listen, it's War Memorial. We have a running joke about it that there's something that goes wrong. So let's go over the tally. Ref's mic didn't work.
Yeah.
Ref's mic didn't work. Apparently the internet wasn't working at points during the game. Tommy, the tickets, they let people through security and didn't scan their tickets, I was told. They just let them through security at certain points, and then didn't scan the tickets. And also, apparently, they ran out of water. No. So it's kind of the running joke, but that just happens from time to time at War Memorial.
But the point is, I thought it was a good showing for what you expected. I don't know if there was exactly that many there, or that's the tickets they sold. But on television, it presented okay, and I thought for the opening game against the level of opponent you had today, it was a pretty good showing. I thought the Razorbacks, KJ had a good day. The running game was, we'll get into it. 105 yards today. You'd hoped Rocket would have gotten off to a better start. You didn't. The battle at the line of scrimmage kind of went like we talked. You didn't win. You certainly weren't convinced. I don't know that you lost the battle at the line of scrimmage very often, but it took a while to lean and wear on Western Carolina. Once you got into the third quarter, Arkansas was blowing them off the line, which they should in a game like this. But there's some things that I think I go back and look at the film, and I'll be interested to compare and contrast the thoughts and the comparisons when we get through the Kent State game next week.
Yeah, again, you kind of said the same thing that I had jotted down in my game notes, which it's just not that there wasn't an explosion on both sides of the football. Let's not overlook the defensive line either. That's all we've been hearing about in the offseason. I was expecting them to overwhelm. And I know they're all conference performers on that Western Carolina offensive line, but they should have overwhelmed them at points. And occasionally you saw some pass rush and stuff, but it wasn't to the degree that I was expecting. Now, again, new scheme to a certain extent, new position coaches, new defensive and offensive coordinators, game one. There's a lot of factors that contribute to that. But if we you kind of want to see some bigger signs as we get closer. We're 3 weeks out from LSU in conference. Your conference opener is in the toughest venue in all of college football. That's just something, again, and we hope we see improvement on these next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, the defensive line didn't take over. Now, from the offensive standpoint, there was a lot of times early, 7, maybe a play or 2, 8, always at least 6 kind of crowding the line of the box. They dared you to run or dared you to throw by stopping the run and crowding the line of scrimmage. Rocket couldn't find a lot of holes. And, if Arkansas found yards, it seemed to be mainly on the edges. Arkansas used the receiver screen game, as we heard earlier, in play number 2 of the ball game to score. And I thought that's where Arkansas found their creases and found their yards. I mean, they're going to have to find a way to get yards between the tackles, but they finally found a way to get a few yards inside in the second half.
I was really encouraged from a number of different things offensively, but I think what stood out to me the most wasn't even on offense. I think it was special teams. Now, this kid didn't score a touchdown, but I think you saw a little something in a young Fayetteville kid named Isaiah Satania. And whether it was punt returns or kick returns, I mean, he's got a little jitterbug and wiggle to him. I mean, you saw it firsthand in high school. I've watched highlights and watched games of his. I mean, the kid can play. He got injured last year. He was a true freshman. You got to get over that. Now he's he's either a redshirt freshman or a sophomore, I'm forgetting. But that was one of the key elements that I was like, all right, they might have had something. I agree with Rick Schaefer, Tommy. He's going to put one in the end zone at some point this year on a special teams play.
2 punt returns for 51 yards. One of them went 39. 2 kickoff returns for 83 total. One went 55. I agree. He is the man for the job back there, and he'll have a chance, I think, at some point. That could be next week against Kent State. We don't know, but I think, just like we heard about in that practice back in August, there will be a 95, 98, 99-yard return that Satania puts on the board. And I think it's too early to draw comparisons to a Joe Adams or someone that's one of the contemporary greats at returning punts, but I think he has the potential to be in that kind of conversation, a season or two from now.
Yeah, let's hope so. All right, so we've got plenty of text that we're going to get to on the McLarty Daniel hotline. If you want to jump in via phone call, again, our number, 877-377-6963 is the number to call or text in with Tommy and myself. Bill from Northeast Arkansas, he had the kind of the lower prediction this morning, the 35-24. Was really happy about this Razorbacks. Called it a good game, and kind of like you, Tommy, we were both under the idea that this team would win but not cover, but they covered pretty handily today.
Well,
honestly,
got a defensive score that padded the total scoring numbers, and that's one thing that maybe you didn't have. They scored about the number of points offensively that I thought they would. I thought the defense gave up fewer points than I thought would be allowed. I thought in the end you might get into the low 20s, and this is a good start defensively in that regard.
Yeah, and hopefully it
13 points. You take. I mean, obviously you take that every Saturday, but you take that in all your non-conference games and feel like you've really put yourself in a good position to have a number maybe well below 30 before the season's over on points per game.
Yeah, you also take a KJ Jefferson outing of 18 of 23 for 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, had a passer rating above 200, and completed 78% of his passes. If he's doing that this season, your offense is going to be rolling again. You got to figure it out a little more running the football, but he did look good passing today.
How about the play early when the Western Carolina defender comes in and thinks he's got him dead to rights, runs right into him, thinks, well, this is going to be a good sacked stat for me, and just bounces off KJ. KJ rolls out and like nothing had happened. I mean, that was the proverbial brick wall he ran into.
Yeah, hopefully he is.
Hopefully the young man's okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Not KJ, but hopefully that guy's okay. I'm not going to lie, Tommy. Any time that I saw KJ take off and run or get hit or anything, I always – even that I love that throw Jacoby made at the tail end of the game. I quiver a little bit. I shiver. I'd like him to have one season where he's completely healthy, and maybe that's the wrong way to look at it when you're watching a game, but that's just how I'm feeling when it comes to any contact on my quarterback.
Yep, he ran it 5 times today for 24 yards, threw it 23, talking about KJ, completed 18. With him and Criswell together, they were 20 of 25. That's 80% of their passes complete today. And I think the most impressive thing about the passing game is 9 different Razorbacks caught passes in this game today for 274 total yards on 20 catches. So they're developing a depth of talent that got a little game experience today. We'll see how that number changes. I don't think you'll have 9 Razorbacks catch passes or 8 Razorbacks run the football, but that's what happened today is you had a lot of different guys touch the football.
Yeah, spread the wealth. Keep on doing it. Hopefully we see that throughout the season. Again, we are live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. I heard a rumor that Chuck is going to be stopping by at some point later on his way back to Northwest Arkansas. So if you want to come by and see us,
he said he couldn't wait to sit down and have a burger with you after the game. I think isn't that what he said?
At all. He probably learned something.
Maybe I don't quite remember that exactly how he said it on the Morning Rush. But
it was something like that. It was something like that. So if you're driving back,
save him a seat just in case. Save him a seat right next to you.
Yeah, if you're driving back to Northwest Arkansas, or if you're driving back to the River Valley, wherever you're coming from, if you're going to pass the Russellville CJs, the iconic, the OG original Russellville CJs, come on by and see us again. This is Hog Reaction presented by the Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Again, more of your calls, more of your texts when we return right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
At Signature Bank of Arkansas, we believe in the power of community. When you choose to bank with Signature, you're choosing to invest in the very heart of your hometown. When you bank with Signature, you're not just a customer, you're a partner in progress. From the entrepreneurs bringing new business to town to the teams we cheer on under the Friday night lights, we're here, right by your side, supporting the unique aspects that make our area so special. Make the switch today to see why Signature Bank of Arkansas is community banking at its best. Signature Bank of Arkansas is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Now batting for Arkansas, number 10, Peyton Stovall.
Hey, Phil. I'm from Louisiana, and I have no idea where to eat. I love burgers, fries, and shakes.
Number 1 burger spot in Northwest Arkansas is CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers on Weddington. Keith Wilson and his team also have the original location on Arkansas Avenue in Russellville.
I'm pretty busy right now.
Well, you can order to go, stop by the drive-thru, or online at butcherboyburger.com or use their app. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
Here's to you and yours from your friends at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. Hey, warmer weather is with us, and that means fun in the outdoors. Whether you're in the boat, onshore enjoying a picnic, or attending a family celebration, In Good Spirits can provide you with the tastiest adult beverages in town. And don't forget to treat yourself as you listen to the game. In Good Spirits, Highway 71 South across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Students are heading back to class, and football season is on everybody's mind. This is Mark at W&W Automotive. If your back-to-school travel plans include Friday night football or college game days, drop by W&W first and let us make sure your vehicle is travel-ready. From your oil and fluids to your battery, hoses, brakes, and belts, W&W will make sure you're there for every kickoff. Come see us just off of Townsend on South O in Fort Smith, or call me or Kelly at 242-1600. That's WW Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Shop Metters Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Get your grill on this fall with a top-of-the-line 22-inch slate color charcoal gray by Weber for $159.99. Looking for a new garbage can? Check out the 32-gallon Rubbermaid Roughneck trash can for only $24.99. Also, 12-pack of mason jars by Home Point is just $8.99. They're a great way to store and transfer food and much more. Don't miss out. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
When a hailstorm comes to the River Valley, homeowners have doubts on what roofing company to deal with. That's why it's better to contact the experts that are local. That company is Construction Masters Roofing, a locally owned company that's ready to change the roof on your home. Construction Masters Roofing is insured and local, specializing in hail claims and replacing windows, siding, and gutters. Construction Masters Roofing, located at 225 North Greenwood Avenue in Fort Smith. Call for a free estimate, 479-648-8888 or 918-859-4724.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
And welcome back into Hog Reaction, where we got a full house here at CJ's in Russellville. What did Coach Pittman think about his team's performance after the game? Well, let's go hear what Coach had to say.
I thought in spurts we played really well. Obviously the turnovers were big for us. We had too many penalties. We didn't run the ball as well, and especially in the first half as I thought we would be able to, but we scored points. We scored 35 points at KJ and the receivers. I tell you, our receivers caught the ball extremely well today, man. We got to work on the run game a little bit. Defensively, I thought we played really well, got turnovers, and offensively, we played a good game. If I was going to say anything, we got to cut down on the penalties. Got to do a little better running the football.
So, Tommy, that was Coach's thoughts on the game, and you and I probably honed in on him talking about them not running maybe as much as they would like to. So I would ask our audience again at 877-377-6963, again, our McClarty Daniel hotline, why was Arkansas not able to run the ball today against an FCS opponent? Tommy, I'll let you kind of kick that one off.
Well, I think early Western Carolina was stacking up the line of scrimmage. They just dared you to throw, and Arkansas succeeded throwing the football. They were not going to get beat by Rocket Sanders and KJ Jefferson. And listen, that's the game plan I think any of us that are far less intelligent than any of the coaches that were in this game today would have put together. That's where you start. Hey, if we're going to get beat, we're not going to let Rocket Sanders, we're not going to let number 5 and number 1 wear us out. And I think they stuck to their guns early on that. It takes time to wear down a defensive line. I don't think Arkansas's offensive line was quite in sync. Latham may be your best offensive lineman. He wasn't there today. He didn't play today. So I think there's more than one factor in why you couldn't run the ball early. I mean, it was dismal. I mean, at one point in the second quarter, you had negative rushing yards for like negative 7 yards. Turned it around, second half, you end up, what was it, 105 yards for the ball game. It's not what you want. It's not what's going to work in an SEC game. But I think SEC teams are going to probably not even have to put as many in the box to be as effective, depending on who you're playing. So I think there was more than one reason why Arkansas couldn't run, but I think mainly Western Carolina's defense sold out to stop the run, and Arkansas took advantage with a smart offensive coordinator to go to the pass and made them pay with touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 drives.
Yeah, and sometimes the defense dictates what you do. If it's a loaded box, not that you can't still run against a loaded box, but if it's a loaded box, you can still, again, go after a little bit. And I had someone, I really appreciate, so we had 4 guys stop in from Rogers that are on their way back to Northwest Arkansas, Brock, Perry, GW, and Bob. Appreciate them stopping by here at CJ's, talking with me a little bit. But one of the things they pointed out to me, and I hadn't thought about this, was KJ Jefferson, I only think he took the ball 3 or 4 times on maybe some read plays. A lot of times those plays, those run plays, Tommy, were, I felt like, just designated to go to Rocket, AJ, Rashad DeBinier, and Augustov, and then it wasn't necessarily an option at this point. But you don't want to see a lot of quarterback run options in game 1, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the end, is it concerning that you didn't run the ball at will and as effectively as you want against a team that's an FCS team? I can understand. I'm on board. I'm on that train a little bit. But sometimes you take what the defense gives you.
Yeah.
And I think Western Carolina was giving him the edge, and you saw Arkansas take advantage of that. There's a lot of ways to win and a lot of ways to lose a football game. And Western Carolina made a decision early. They weren't going to let the Razorbacks run it between the tackles, and they were effective doing that. So Arkansas took their yards elsewhere.
Yeah. So hopefully, again, Arkansas will be able to continue and get better the offense the rest of the way. We got Scott in Ashflat that is on the phone with Scott. We will get to you when we start the next hour. Well, as other calls and text again at 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel Hog Line. It's Tommy Kraft. It's Ty Richardson. This is Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank as we are live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. Come on by and see us if you want some good grub on the way home. We still got another hour and a half with you on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The fastest internet you could find in rural Arkansas is from Wave Rural Connect and available now in areas like West Hartford, Gibson Ridge, and Elm Park. Wave Rural Connect is taking orders for Arkansas Valley Electric members on their Hartford substation. Order at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Fast internet from a local provider in Ozark. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect. Changing the communities we serve.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Frank Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a number 2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila, you'll have a recipe for magic.
What's on your to-do list today? Does it include looking for a new piece of heavy equipment? If so, come by and see us at Sharp Equipment today and explore our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer. Whatever your day brings, whatever job it is you need to complete, Wacker Newson Equipment is up to the task, and Sharp Equipment is here to help. Stop in Central Hydraulics and see us at Sharp Equipment, located at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-242-1406.
Call World of Wireless if you've recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you've recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us, 478-6616, or go to wowfastinternet.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through September 11th, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get one 50% off at your local Yeager's Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
Are you needing new tires? Are you short on cash? Van Alma Tire can help you get back on the road. Come by Van Alma Tire and apply for caffeine. It only takes minutes to get approved, and you can get the tire or the service you need to get your vehicle back on the road. Top-of-the-line tires, brake service, and more. Van Alma Tire is here to help you. Located on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Must be 18 or older. Valid ID. Active checking account and income at least $1,000 per month.
This is Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
AJ spins away at the 30, still on his feet. He's going to score. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. Teague Law Firm. If we can't help you, we'll talk football. Signature Bank. Community banking at its best.
I'm behind Lisa on the bridge, and I have jumped off. I am in the river.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. Come see Sally and Keith at CJ's in Russellville and Keith at CJ's in Fayetteville on the way to and from the games this fall.
By golly, give me those dogs, Chuck.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline 877-377-6963.
All right, it is another hour and a half of Hog Reaction alongside Tommy Kraft. I am Ty Richardson. Again, our number, 877-377-6963 on the McClarty Daniel hotline as we are live from CJ's in Russellville. Really appreciate Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank being a part of this, and Keith Wilson and his team and Sally for letting us hang out. Tommy, can you smell the burgers through the microphone?
I can hear the grease just popping off the griddle. You know, we were talking about there's a bunch of different ways to win a football game. Western Carolina took away the run early, so Arkansas passed. There's about 1 million different ways to make a burger at CJ's, too, if you stop and think about it. You could go mayonnaise and mustard with no onion and pickle and lettuce. I mean, there's a bunch of combinations that are on the board. Add bacon, add grilled onions, do the fresh jalapenos or the grilled jalapenos. You got multiple cheese options there. I'd go double cheese option, actually.
Yeah, here's what I get. I mean, this is the right way to do it if we're being honest.
A lot of ways to win at CJ's.
Yeah, you do the double patty, you do pepper jack cheese, you do grilled jalapenos, grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, you do tomatoes, and you do fry sauce. And that you have an immaculate burger. You get fries, you get the fry sauce, and you get yourself a cake batter shake. And you are good to go.
I'll go mayonnaise with double cheddar, bacon, lettuce, tomato pickle.
That works too.
That's pretty
good.
And we got fry sauce is like the KJ of CJ's. I mean, you just got to have the fry sauce. You can't do without it.
Keith has done a wonderful job. And we got, again, a full house here at the Russellville. I know the Fayetteville one's packed based on how it always is at Weddington. So, again, if you're coming back from the game, come by and see us.
I wonder how Chuck wants his burger. Maybe you could order it early for him because you said he was going to stop by and sit next to you and eat a burger, right?
Well, I hope so. He'd be lying to me if he doesn't come by.
Or maybe he just honks as he drives by exit 81. Maybe that's what will happen.
I guess that would suffice at this point.
Just honk twice. Honk the horn twice, Chuck, as you roll by. We're going to talk to Chuck. He's going to join us probably in about an hour here on Hog Reaction.
All right. Let's go to Northeast Arkansas as we welcome in. Yeah, hey, listen.
You know where Ash Flat was.
I'm starting to, as we continue again to broaden our statewide reach, I've started to look at this thing called a map every once in a while, and this and the Arkansas.
It's up near Salem,
state.
right?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Scott, welcome into the program. What's going on, man?
What's up, my fellas? Thanks for having me. Ash Flat is probably about 18 miles on further east from Salem. We're close to the Spring River, South Fork, that area, and they're foothills.
You're in the suburbs of Viola, right?
Well, yeah. Well, no, they're in the suburbs of Ash Flat. Hey, now just got a couple of observations, guys. I thought the special teams, especially the punter and the return game, was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that was excellent. That punter should have been co-MVP of the game.
Yeah.
And I know that we noticed right off that the offensive line wasn't getting no push for the run game, but they did protect the quarterback well in the pass game. I think when Latham gets back and they can get Kent State and BYU under their belt, that'll probably get better. I thought the defense made some big plays. I think tackling still needs to be an emphasis in practice, but they made big plays. But that was good. The passing game was great. I was really impressed with the new receivers. Really impressed with them. Really impressed. And the D-line, even though they didn't get a ton of sacks, but I thought Kerwin Bell had a great game plan on getting the ball out the quarterback's hand real quick. And that will negate a lot of your pass rush. But they stayed. They like I say, they got a lot of tackles for loss, and I was impressed with that. Linebackers, Jordan Crook sounded good. Now, hey, trust me, guys, I listened to this over the radio. I didn't get to see it, so I listened to the call on the radio. So I'm just going by what I heard. And the D-line, I think, is going to be all right. They're real deep. And maybe Pooh Paul can get this out of his system quick and realize he can't kill everybody and be back for the second half next week. But as a whole, I would give the grade a solid B as a whole. And I'd like to know y'all's opinion on that.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, you went into a lot there. We appreciate you calling in. Again, if you want to jump in with us on the McClarty Daniel hotline, feel free to do so. 877 377-6963. He mentioned Chris Boopall, who will not be able to play the first half next week. Clear targeting call, right call by the ref. Tommy, there's really no way to slice it than how it was exactly what was called by Ken Williamson.
Clear and obvious. They'll probably appeal because that's what you do, and it won't be overturned, and he'll miss the first half. He brought up special teams. Max Fletcher, 5 punts, 245 yards, averaged 49 yards, dropped 2 down inside the 20. I think he absolutely was one of your stars of the game. If we'd have had odds on the Bet Saracen app before the game of Cam Little not kicking a field goal, didn't attempt one, obviously didn't make one, we'd have probably lost money on that, right? We'd have all had Cam Little having at least a field goal in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even get a chance at one today and was perfect on his extra points. So I guess we'll wait another week perhaps to see. And we shouldn't be complaining about no field goal attempts. That means you were good in the red zone, and that's exactly what Arkansas was. What was it, 5 of 5 today in the red zone. So that's exactly what you want to be. And so, Cam Little can wait another week, but I thought special teams, when you roll Satania in there, were excellent today. Yeah,
and if you want to give Cam credit for something, it was he executed what he was asked to do. I mean, the only one that they really I watched Coach Pittman tell him something after one kick, and they squibbed it the next kick. So I'm assuming he was told him just to test the return coverage, and then he banged most of them through the back of the end zone, except that one that the guy returned it 9 yards deep, and then got plastered, and there was a holding call. So if you want to say, Cam executed what he was allowed to do. He didn't get called out to a field goal like you're saying, Tommy.
No, and that squib kick, I think that's exactly what was called, because it didn't look like he had missed the kick or some kind of misstep, or we wouldn't know how to analyze it perfectly, but it looked like he executed exactly what was called there.
Yeah, so, again, good stuff from Cam Little. He's going to be called upon, especially with the special teams. And let's not look, again, you were talking about Max Fletcher there. Y'all, we weren't shy about banging on Max Fletcher and Reed Bauer a little bit last year. They were inconsistent. You never knew which one of them was going to punt. It wasn't good. Scott Fountain looks like, at least in game one, Max is starting to – this kid apparently was killed. He dominated in practice. It just – you didn't see it in the game last year. So, hopefully, Max – we'll see more consistency from them, because even if you get stacked up in the backfield, or if there's a negative play and you're going to have to punt, if you got a guy that can bang it 50-plus yards, that changes field position. And Arkansas didn't have that last year from Reed Bauer and Max Fletcher. Hopefully you do this year.
Yeah. Back to the kickoffs for just a second. Between Little and Ford, you had 8 kickoffs in the game, and 6 of them were touchbacks. So that's a good weapon to have when you make the opponent go 75 yards. And we're going to look at some yards and kind of compare what you got versus what you could have got later on in the show. That's a good weapon right there when you can make the other team have to go 75.
Yeah. Passing was a weapon today. Again, KJ Jefferson looked really good. Justin points out that he really took advantage of the middle of the field. I thought there was a lot of post patterns and crossing routes from Andrew Armstrong and Isaac Tesla. I thought both those guys took advantage. Both of them ranging about 6'4", good speed, good agility. And, Tommy, I thought KJ, there was only one that I was like, he threw it 5 yards short. He duffed it, basically. I was like, well, KJ duffed that like I did with my chipper last week. But outside of that, there wasn't really a throw that I watched today. I was like, man, KJ was just off on that one.
And the one time he got sacked and then fumbled the ball, and then he got back on it. That's one you'd like to have back, and I'm sure they'll shore that up before next week.
Yeah. All right, back to the McClarty-Daniel hotline, where our friend Eddie in Clarksville is waiting. Eddie, I had some friends stop by, and they wanted to see you, man. I was wishing you were here with me at CJ's.
Well, sir, I'm still stuck over here in Bryan. I went to visit my grandkids, so I'll be a little bit late getting back into Clarksville. But let me say this. For any season opener for any team in the country, there are positives and there are negatives you can take away. Certainly there were some negatives we could take away from this game, but I'd say there's more positives than negatives. And so we got the season kicked off, win number 1, and we got a little steam headed back to Fayetteville, take on Kent State for win number 2, baby. That's all I care about, the bottom line. The bottom line is I thought the receivers, for a new receiving corps, I'm giving them, they stepped up. For their first game, and they stepped up and made plays. That's what I call home delight. And certainly they provided today on the playing field. I thought the special teams played outstanding. So you know what? What was it, 100 degrees today out on the field? Well, it probably felt like 110. So we got some new offensive linemen. They're going to get better. We'll
Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it. Yeah, again, it's game one. They got things to shore up like every other college football team does. The offensive line, did they run block great today? No. Pittman will tell them that. Cody Kennedy will tell them that in the postgame. Probably already talked about it, to be quite honest. But it's a long season. We've got 11 regular season games left, hopefully a bowl game on top of that. And hopefully you'll keep seeing improvement because I guarantee you that's going to be one of the lower rushing totals that Rocket has this year.
Yeah, and with the old adage of making the most jump between week 1 and 2, we'll see. I know a lot of people have been upset. We've talked about it all summer, the schedule, the 4-game stretch. Would you like to reshuffle that now, or are you glad you have the game you had today with Western Carolina, Kent State, and then BYU? After what you saw today, are you okay with the schedule now, even though it means that 4-game stretch, or would you like to have LSU next week right now or A&M next week right now? I think we're all probably pretty pleased after what we saw today, and with the lack of running game, you got a couple of more weeks to get the kinks out before that 4-game stretch. I surely wouldn't want to see any of those 4 teams next week if the schedule was a little bit different to ease the pain in a month from now.
No question about it. All right, last call of the segment goes to Justin in Paris, home of the Eagles. Justin, what's up, man?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm kind of like the caller, the one before Eddie. I didn't get to watch the game, but I listened to most of it on the radio. I've been at work all day driving a truck. But, hey, you can't ask for a better first game, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, probably could have run the ball better, but it's kind of like a old vehicle that's been parked outside for 6 or 7 months. You start it up, it's going to have to get the bugs worked out of it, And, hey, like you said, good thing we got, another 2 or 3 games to do that. Mm-hmm. But I think they look good. And, hey, couldn't ask for a better day at work getting the list of the Hogs, man. Appreciate the call, guys.
Well, hey, Justin, we appreciate you. I think that might be the best comparison, Tommy, that we've had thus far on this program.
It hit a little sputtering. Well, I say that. I still think they just took what the defense gave them. I think you got a smart guy calling plays with Dan Enos, and Western Carolina more or less crowded the line of scrimmage at times, took away some of the run. Could you have done some things with your offensive line to get a better push? Perhaps. Smarter people than me can analyze and break that down, but in the end, you saw opportunity on the edges. You did that with the passing game, and Arkansas took advantage of it.
Yeah, they did. All right, guys, we've heard from Northeast Arkansas. We've heard from the River Valley. We've heard from Clarksville. We've heard from all over this point. We want your calls. We want your texts. It's Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and its Signature Bank. We are live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. Come by and see us.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. From all these years watching baseball, I've grown accustomed to watching closers in their element. James Teague isn't closing innings anymore, he's closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, Teague Law Firm is a general practice firm that can help you with most family law issues, divorce, custody, and child support. They can also help with criminal law, both felonies and misdemeanors.
Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688.
Online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football.
Now batting for Arkansas, number 10, Peyton Stovall.
Hey, Phil, I'm from Louisiana, and I have no idea where to eat. I love burgers, fries, and shakes.
Number 1 burger spot in Northwest Arkansas is CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers on Weddington. Keith Wilson and his team also have the original location on Arkansas Avenue in Russellville.
I'm pretty busy right now.
Well, you can order to go, stop by the drive-thru, or online at butcherboyburger.com or use their app.
CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers.
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
The biggest and best selection of 2023 and 24 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. Harry Robinson has a great selection in stock and over 24 new Fords on the way. F-150s, the all-new Broncos, Mach-E Mustangs, and the super popular Ford Maverick. Plus, get financing as low as 0% on a new Ford. And Harry Robinson has never and will never charge over MSRP. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Jason Hill in Greenwood or Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
What matters most to your family can now cost less when you choose comfortable, reliable, and efficient natural gas heating, water heating, cooking, and clothes drying for your home. You make the right choice in today's environment. High-efficiency natural gas appliances can reduce your monthly costs. And right now, you can save even more with heating and water heating rebates from AOG. Visit AOGC.com today and get more comfort for less cost.
The dog days of summer will soon turn to fall hunting seasons, and Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith has the all-new compound and crossbows for archery season. Great brands like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, 10 Point, Wicked Edge, Raven, Missoon, and more. Now is the time to get ready for archery season at Jelco Outdoors, your local hunting and outdoor store. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors.
Summer's winding down, but the savings are just getting started. During the end-of-season pool sale at Burton Pools and Spas, owning a pool is more affordable than ever. For a limited time, save as much as $12,000 on a new top-of-the-line in-ground pool. That's right, save up to $12,000 on a new pool. One of the best investments you can make in your family. Visit Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith and Springdale or burtonpools.com. At Burton, we do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships.
Camping World is the world's largest RV dealer with more than 1 million RVs sold. And now at over 200 locations strong, we're making RVing more fun and more affordable than ever. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, fifth wheel, or motorhome, we have new RVs starting at less than $5 a day. And we have the largest selection of quality pre-owned RVs anywhere, with an RV for every lifestyle and a payment for every budget. It's easy to see why Camping World has sold over 1 million RVs. Click, call, or come into your local Camping World today. See dealer for more details and disclaimers.
Escape to the lake with G3 boats and Suncatcher pontoons. Huge Model N year closeout sale going on now at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Save thousands on 2023 G3 models and Suncatcher pontoons with the largest rebates of the year now through September 30th. There's still time for some fun on the water with Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma. View their inventory online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here. See dealer for rebate details.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
All right, back in here on Hog Reaction. Tommy Kraft, Tyler Richardson, live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. If you want to come by and see us, we are presented once again by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Tommy, still again plenty to get into here for the next 5 minutes or so. We'll be keeping this thing rolling until about 6:30. Now, we were talking about Chris Paul, who got ejected in the second half of this game, won't be able to play the first half. One of the guys that I really enjoyed watching today was Jaheim Thomas, the young man. I say young man, he's more of an upperclassman from Cincinnati. I thought he made a couple big-time plays and hits, especially with some questions at linebacker. I don't know if he necessarily solidified my concerns, but I like what I saw from him today.
Yeah, I was just digging through the notes here to get the tackle chart and kind of see where Arkansas was, and Jaheim Thomas is right at the top of the list in tackle. Had 1.5 tackles for loss today, 4 solo tackles, 8 total tackles in the game. So your tackles, when you look at Thomas and Singletary, Paul was 4th, Johnson was 3rd. I mean, they came from where you want them to come from. I mean, that's the way the defense is set up, is to funnel those to the linebackers, so the guys making the tackles are the ones that got him. Or the ones that were supposed to be making the tackles are the ones that got him.
Yeah, hopefully it continues to see improvement from the linebacker, and you continue to see defensive pressure and whatnot, and on and on.
Yeah, so it'll I don't
what
think.
What are you chuckling at over there?
Oh, I just texting some things that are coming in, but I don't think you'll see Chris Paul's play overturned. There is an appeal and a review process. He lowered his helmet, hit him right in the chin. I don't see that one getting changed. I don't even know if Arkansas will send it in. They probably will just for posterity, but I don't think
it's a waste of time.
It's exactly. It's
a waste of time. It was a targeting call. Listen, I'm never wanted to defend or compliment an official on a good call. It was a good call. He's not going to play the first half.
You should always compliment the official on good calls.
I'm not going to do that.
Would you define it as clear and obvious?
Yes, it was the most obvious thing of anything called all day. Yeah. Chris lowered his head, hit the quarterback. He's not playing the first half next week. Yeah. Clear as day. And I guarantee his dad probably thinks the same thing. All right, text out of the 479. This is from Logan, who's in North Carolina, Tommy. He's listening to us. Cullowhee, North Carolina, where the Catamounts are. It's about 2 hours where he is. He said he got a few weird looks today wearing his Razorback hoodie. Now, again, College Game Day is in Charlotte, North Carolina, between the Gamecocks and the Tar Heels later on tonight, which should be a fun matchup. I'm excited about that. We do need to get some scores coming up because Dion got himself first dub.
Wait, you told me on the pregame show they weren't going to be any good. They were undersized. They may not even be bowl eligible when the season's over.
Yeah, that was.
And then they go out and win.
That was on the morning rush, but not the pregame. So, but no, listen.
Did you say it? Did you say it?
He proved me wrong. Yeah, he proved me wrong. And when Alabama loses to Texas week 2, I can say the exact same thing back to you about that you think Alabama's going by 3 touchdowns.
To your point, just looking at the scoreboard, Texas leads Rice in the fourth quarter to start the fourth quarter, 37-3. I don't know if that's overwhelming or convincing, but that's Texas is off to a decent start, I guess.
Well, Logan, you wear your Razorback hoodie with pride, whether you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, or in Arkansas. We're happy you're representing the Arkansas Razorback. Zach in Paragould, Tommy, texted in on the McClarty-Daniel hotline. He wants to know our favorite play from today. If you had to pick out one play, and I've got a couple of them that I could probably download and play for us 1 point. What was your favorite play?
Didn't have anything to do with scoring. I thought the one that just comes to mind, I already mentioned it once, is when the Western Carolina defender, I think it was number 8, I don't remember, came in, thought he had KJ dead to rights, and he just ran into the proverbial brick wall. I mean, just – and KJ didn't move. It didn't stun him a bit. That was my favorite play from the game, is the guy coming in full speed. And, I mean, it was just like Wile E. Coyote or something. He just hit KJ, and down he went. That was my favorite play of the day.
Yeah, Tommy, that's a good one. It really is. If I had to pick one, and I got it queued up, so I'll play it, it was that Isaac Tesla 31-yard touchdown.
Jefferson. Off the zone read, play action, pumps once, looking deep, Tesla at the goal line, complete, touchdown Arkansas. Man, is this guy a find or what? Tesla with the score, and it's 20-0.
We're going to do this. I don't know if we'll do it with Chuck when he calls in just a bit, or if we do it on Monday.
Oh, he's coming by there, right? He's probably about Atkins right now. I'm sure he's honing in on exit 81 to sit with you.
That's what he said.
Go ahead and get it. He wants a burger with cheese and mustard and grilled onions on it. So go ahead and just get it ready for him.
Listen, all I know is I'm going to be pretty sad, Chuck, if you don't stop by, because I know he's listening right now. I mean, I was driving back to either Clarksville or Northwest Arkansas. Yeah. So I'm just letting you know, Chuck, I'm going to be heartbroken and distraught if you don't stop by. And not only will I be that way, but all these Razorback fans that are here will be that way. So not only are you doing a disservice to me, but you're doing a disservice to your fans in Razorback Nation. So stick down your pipe and smoke it, buddy.
You just ruined the whole deal, right?
If you don't stop by. Well, if he doesn't stop by, it's going to be even worse now for him. But hopefully he does to this point. But we are going to ask him at some point either today or on Monday. Hey, I need you to tell us how to pronounce these names, because I'm sick of saying it 3 different ways, because I think I just said it 2 different. I think I just said Isaac Tesla like 2 different ways there. I need to figure it out. We
want to get it right. Now, it's Augustive, right?
Augustive.
It's like Augusta National with a V on the end. Augustive. Because I've heard that the running back, I've heard it pronounced 2 or 3 different ways. The phonetic pronunciation table or whatever they used to provide to help you with that would be very handy with more than one. It seems like names are getting harder and harder to pronounce these days.
Are they?
John Smith. There's no more John Smiths on the roster anymore.
There's no more John Smiths on the roster anymore. Yeah, no, I would probably say that's one. Well, another play that people were talking about, Tommy, You remember that one that KJ almost it looked like a bad exchange between him and Dominique Johnson. He ended up taking it, scampered 17 yards. He had a clear path. It was a good read. It just took a little bit. I think that was a fun play to watch as well. You remember which one I'm talking about?
Describe that again.
So it was a read option play, and I think Dominique Johnson was in the backfield.
When he buried it in the belly and then he pulled it out late, down near the goal line and ran in. Yeah, and at first you thought it was a trick play. Hey, they did this, and he hid the ball, and there was some trickeration and deception with the football. Yeah, the ball just got stuck in the mesh point, and it just worked out, right? And he about hit his head on the goalpost on that play. That was another great play. I mean, run and hit your head on the goalpost, young fella. That was great.
That's
and he just handed it to the back judge. So.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. And JP said his favorite was the Brad Spence touchdown.
That was a good one,
on the field. Hill, one of the freshmen. Dean's going to throw, and it's intercepted at the 15. Spence has picked it off, and he's going to go the distance. 50, 40, 30, 20. Brad Spence to the house. An interception return for a score, 85 yards in his first game as a Razorback. How about that?
Young man from Houston, Texas. Now, I'm not going to say that Chuck is a fortune teller, but I do remember him specifically saying on the Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast that Arkansas was going to have a chance to have an interception return for a touchdown. And the young freshman, he made sure that Chuck's prediction, not necessarily prediction, but thought came through.
I think it was prophecy. Not prediction, but prophecy. Yeah. So it's good to see a freshman have a play like that, and there's a lot of young players got involved in today's game. So I mean, I thought as the game unfolded in the third, and really it was more fourth quarter where you really started seeing the mass substitutions. It was great to see those guys, and I know a lot of people in Morrilton, just a little bit down the road, about 40 miles down the road from where you're at, were very happy to see Jacoby Criswell get in.
Yeah, that was we got some text about that. Bill from Northeast Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, like when Hudson Clark got that interception, because he feels like he's the most hated guy on the team by fans at times for whatever reason. He gets a lot of crap from fans, man. Well,
and I don't know why. All he's done is just played his guts out and saved you a few times. He was key to a win at BYU last year. He's is he the best player on the team? No, but all he does is just get out there and make plays every week.
Yeah, got an interception. Him and Nudie, who led the team in interceptions, Dwight McLaughlin, also got himself an interception as well. So the defense made plays, and the offense converted on a lot of those missteps by Western Carolina. Again, we're live here at CJ's in Russellville. Going to hear from Chuck momentarily. Wouldn't be surprised. I was hoping to see his bright smile in person, but I don't know if we're going to get that. I'm
sure the police escort will roll in any moment now at Siege there.
That is a good point. We have had a number of people stop by, listeners. Talking with former Razorback Richard Smith. We had a conversation about the game. JW in London, who doesn't live too far from here, he stopped by, and then probably several other Morning Rush listeners have made their way and gotten themselves burger, fries, and shakes, and driven home happy and not hungry, Tommy. They've been definitely full after leaving here.
I think you go burger, fries, and soft drink, and then you go back through the line and get your milkshake for the ride home. Is that the pro move?
I think it's a pretty good move, man. I'm
not a shake with the burger and fries guy. I don't mind the shake, but I need something a little less heavy to wash it down with.
I get a water with it.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna have, I'll get a shake and I'll
Health
get a water
nut while
with
you're
it.
eating your burger. You get some water to go with it, right? Give me the double cheeseburger, extra bacon, the large fry, the fry sauce, and a Diet Coke. That's what
exactly. All right, well, we're going to hear from Chuck again coming up, and I really appreciate Teague Law Firm being a part of Hog Reaction. James and Robert do a great job all over not just Northwest Arkansas, but all over Arkansas. And if you need help with family law, criminal law, and estate planning, give them a call at 479-877-1688 or online at teague-law.com. If they can't help you, they'll talk some football with you. And by Signature Bank. Signature Bank, community banking at its best. They have the business services and the service that you deserve. Join.signature.bank and open an account today. Just like a Hogs, Signature Bank was born in Fayetteville. Signature Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Come by and see us. We're at CJ's in Russellville. This is Hog Reaction.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
At Signature Bank of Arkansas, we believe in the power of community. When you choose to bank with Signature, you're choosing to invest in the very heart of your hometown. When you bank with Signature, you're not just a customer, you're a partner in progress. From the entrepreneurs bringing new business to town to the teams we cheer on under the Friday night lights, we're here, right by your side, supporting the unique aspects that make our area so special. Make the switch today to see why Signature Bank of Arkansas is community banking at its best. Signature Bank of Arkansas is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
This is Ty Richardson. We know that CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers has the best burgers and fries in all of Arkansas. But did you know they have the best shakes as well? Keith Wilson and his team just added 5 new shake flavors to their menu. Key lime, cake batter, strawberry cake batter, chocolate cake batter, and strawberry chocolate cake batter. Swing by and add a shake to your favorite order today. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Fries and shakes too. Woohoo!
It's hard enough to find a quality used vehicle and even harder to get the financing. Well, look no more. RVR Auto can do both. They have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles and offer in-house financing with payments tailored to your needs. Cars, vans, trucks, all makes and models, and RVR Auto is locally owned. RVR Auto, where you aren't just a customer, you're part of the family. And they also sell used vehicle parts for all makes and models, even those hard to find. Check out their inventory at rvrauto.net or give them a call at 918-626-8111. RVR Auto, be a part of the family.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese. He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren. At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Sunshine is a beautiful thing, but not when you're sitting in a hot vehicle. Put some shade on that sunshine with window tinting from River Valley Truck Outfitters. River Valley Truck Outfitters have all shades in stock and are ready to put some cool on your commute or your upcoming vacation drives. Give them a call to schedule your appointment. River Valley Truck Outfitters, your #1 truck and car accessory store at the top of Rye Hill. Call 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Frank-Rowe Furniture is your family-owned furniture, appliance, and electronics store. We have been servicing the area for 38 years with quality products and service after the sale. Frank-Rowe Furniture offers a no-pressure sales atmosphere where you can actually enjoy shopping for your furniture. We also offer in-store, no-credit check financing. Don't wait weeks to be able to take your furniture you purchase home. Stop by and we will load you up today. Family-owned, service after the sale, and no-credit check financing. Frank-Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and coming soon to Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
All right, back here at Hog Reaction, again live at CJ's in Russellville. I've been doing us a disservice for the first hour because I haven't really gone into any scores college football day. I feel like I have to say that a lot when I'm on radio.
I'll say, is that really a new thing, a new trend?
It's just kind of the norm at this point. But the biggest game of the day thus far is Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes going down to Fort Worth, Texas, to take on Chandler Morris and the Frogs, getting a win 45-42 in favor of the Bus Tommy. Shadur Sanders has himself a good day, but really the big story was Travis Hunter playing two ways. We hadn't seen this in a while in D1 college football, but Travis Hunter, man, he had himself a game in Fort Worth against the TCU Horned Frogs.
Yeah, I had that one kind of on my second TV, just keeping an eye on it, and I thought for a while that TCU was going to overtake them, and Colorado just kept fighting back, putting points up, and after kind of just a steady offensive performance, they score 14 fourth quarter points and win that game. So, I mean, for everyone that thought this was going to be a longer-term experiment and that Deion wouldn't work, and for what you had to say Friday on the Morning Rush, well, I mean, you didn't beat Alabama, you didn't beat Georgia, you didn't beat Ohio State, but you did beat a top 20 team in their house. And the graphic I saw on the broadcast at the end of the game, first time since 2002 that Colorado's went on the road to beat a top 20 team. They're 0 for 27 in the last 21 years till today.
Again, the defending national champion runner-up got beat on their home field, and that's that you just heard that to that point. It's pretty crazy thus far. Other games, again, that are going on right now. Ohio State was heavily favored against Indiana. They're barely winning. I say barely. They're up 20-3 in Bloomington right now. It's the end of the fourth. With about 5 minutes to go, they're going to win that one. Wisconsin's up
20
on Buffalo.
20 points, yeah. 55 minutes into this ball game. That doesn't sound like the number 3 team in the country.
They're having quarterback issues, Tommy. They don't know who's going to play at this point. The fans don't know. I don't think Ryan Day knows. Something to keep an eye on. SEC games that I know a lot of our audience cares about. Really, it's first week. There's not a lot of good ones. UMass got clobbered today by Auburn. They're up right now 59-14. Mississippi State handling Southeastern Louisiana 41-7. Georgia up early 7-0 on Tennessee Martin. Games that have concluded to this point. Again, Florida, Missouri, and Vanderbilt have already played. Kentucky beat Ball State today 44-14. Ole Miss beat Mercer 73-7. But one of the games that stood out to you and me was Tennessee beating Virginia 49-13. And what did Joe Tessitore call Joe Milton, Tommy?
Bazooka Joe.
Bazooka Joe.
It's 200 yards, 2 touchdowns in the win today, and 49 Tennessee points as they roll up Virginia, an ACC team, 49-13.
Yeah, they were 28-point favorites in that game. That game was played in Nashville and tied in Nissan Stadium, by the way, but that was not much of a competition. We'll see what Tennessee does when it takes on some better opponents in the SEC, particularly Georgia, coming up in November. Those are some of your scores from today. Again, week one's not great. You got a big game tonight with North Carolina and South Carolina, and then a big game tomorrow with LSU taking on Florida State in Orlando.
Texas up 37-10 on Rice with 3 minutes to go. They're going to win. And did you see what OU did to Arkansas State today? 73-0 in Norman, Oklahoma.
I don't know how Butch Jones is allowed to coach D1 football, to be quite honest. I mean, Arkansas State, you've had some good teams and good coaches in Jonesboro. Arkansas fans, I'm glad that Arkansas didn't play them prior to Pittman getting here, because you might have lost. But For whatever reason, they just elected to hire Butch Jones, and I'm telling you, if you're an Arkansas State apologist, he's not the guy. They need to do something else, and just got rocked in Norman today.
But as I look through the scoreboard, other than Colorado, TCU, I mean, as of right now, there's not anything in the top 25 of the SEC that was really worth being really just entertaining at all. Now, A&M plays New Mexico at 6 o'clock tonight. Alabama plays Middle Tennessee.
Let's go, Lobos. Come on, Lobos. Get it done in College Station.
I guess we can hope for North Carolina, South Carolina to be entertaining. We just have not been entertained today. Michigan beats East Carolina 30-3. There just really hadn't been a game, as you just scroll through the scoreboard, that was can't-miss TV. Notre Dame beats Tennessee State 56-3. Zach Harns thinks they won the Super Bowl today somehow. He was texting us earlier. I mean, it just it's been a lackluster college football Saturday for the most part.
You're right. And I'll say this, and we got a text out of the 479. I mean, Deion's been the best part of today.
No,
he has.
Not even close.
It's uncomparable. Now, if you're an Arkansas fan, the best part of today was getting a pretty convincing win against Western Carolina. But if you're a college football fan, Deion Sanders has taken the mantle, at least for this Saturday on week number 1. Now, we'll see what happens tonight and what happens tomorrow. But Deion, listen, everyone has an opinion of Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is good for college football. Now, I don't agree with everything he says, like the fight thing he said a couple weeks back. I don't know if that's necessarily great to be telling kids, hey, if one of your buddies gets in a fight, you should get in the fight too. But him winning first game in Fort Worth was massive for today's, honestly, lackluster schedule, as you just said, Tommy.
Okay, so Colorado goes on the road and beats the 17th-ranked team in the country. There's no question Colorado's going to enter the poll this week. At what point, at what ranking does Colorado enter the poll after this win?
They're like 22. They get Nebraska at home next week. They'll probably win that. Matt Rule and company barely lost to Minnesota on Thursday night. I expect them to start 0-2. I think they'll be in that like 21-22 range. They won't jump them up to like 16 or 15, I don't think.
See, I just wonder if people get too hyped. I mean, I'm just looking. There's not any upsets to really knock anyone out other than TCU. Not to this point. There's still some games to be played. But I think they enter in the top 20 just because of the hype train of Deion.
You know what, they could. Maybe people fall in love, like you're saying, and
guzzle the Kool-Aid. Guzzle the prime flavored Kool-Aid.
The prime flavored Kool-Aid. It could happen, man. I don't think that's not a reach. I don't think, Tommy.
No, I mean, I just think people. It's like you said, the best story. Now, any idea who they play next week? Because I got their schedule right in front of me. Here's another chance to turn some heads.
I just said it, but I can act like it. It's Nebraska. They get Matt Rule at home.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that, but
you're good.
Colorado State, then they get Oregon, who right now has scored like 81 points. They play them the 23rd of September. So, hey, there's some chances here for Colorado to do some things and put themselves in the top 10. I was looking Colorado Arena. Oregon has like 81 points up right now.
Yeah,
81-7, the final over Portland State.
There will be a lot of eyes on that Nebraska-Colorado game because of, again, the Deion effect and just the brand that Nebraska still is. I know they haven't been the blue blood they were. But then you parlay that with the Heisman contender Bo Nix in Week 3, like you just said. Tommy, Deion couldn't ask for really a better setup schedule if they win those 3 games. I mean, you will easily be inside the top 10 if you start 3-0.
And he knows how to play the game. He had the white Colorado hoodie on, even though it was like 110 degrees on the turf today there in Fort Worth. He had the shades on. He had the chain around the neck. I mean, dude knows what he's doing. He knows how to market himself. He knows how to market that program. He was on point.
Yep, he looked good. All right, we've still got one more segment here in this hour of Hog Reaction. Another 45 minutes or so. Chuck Barrett also going to join us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. If you want to join us, jump in 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank live at CJ's in Russellville.
You're listening to Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
Hey, it's James Teague. Over the years playing baseball, I've grown accustomed to closing innings, but now I'm closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, the Teague Law Firm can help you with all family law matters, including divorce, custody, and child support. We can also help with criminal law such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Call me at the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688. Visit us online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm. If they can't help you, they'll talk football.
This is Ty Richardson. We know that CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers has the best burgers and fries in all of Arkansas. But did you know they have the best shakes as well? Keith Wilson and his team just added 5 new shake flavors to their menu. Key lime, cake batter, strawberry cake batter, chocolate cake batter, and strawberry chocolate cake batter. Swing by and add a shake to your favorite order today. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Fries and shakes too. Woohoo!
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
The Links at Chaffee Crossing takes great pride in providing award-winning barbecue. Whether the craving is for ribs, pork, brisket, or chicken, we can satisfy any appetite. Stop in and watch the game and enjoy everyday food and drink specials like $5 mixed drink specials or $2 domestic beer. Open Tuesday through Sunday, the Links at Chaffee Crossing is ready to serve you the best barbecue in the River Valley. The Links at Chaffee Crossing next to Deer Trails Golf Course. Come see us.
Shop the store that honors Christ all year. Shop the Solid Rock. Are you looking for that perfect inspirational gift? From greeting cards to home decor, custom laser engraving, and women's boutique items, the Solid Rock is your source for local, hard-to-find inspirational gifts for everyone in the family, including a large selection of Bibles with free name imprint. Solid Rock. Score the perfect gift, share the spirit, enjoy the inspiration. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th and Fort Smith, the Solid Rock, serving the River Valley for over 48 years.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
All right, our final segment here. We're got about 40 minutes or so. Chuck's going to join us to kick off the next hour. So excited to hear from the voice of the Razorback, his thoughts on Game 1. We got 11 of these to go, at least regular season. Hopefully we'll see these guys in a bowl game as well.
Do you have his burger ordered? Grilled onions, fresh jalapenos, mustard, cheddar cheese?
Listen, I'm not an intern. I'm a program director. If I was interning, I'd get his burger.
He wants
He wants
his chocolate shake with the right amount of chocolate in it. You better not mess this up. And salted crispy fries. He has sent in his order. You better have it ready, Ty.
Listen, when we were at McClarty Daniel that one time, and he told me to go get him some coffee, and he was kidding, of course, but
you said, yes, sir, yes, sir.
No. That 10 years ago, it would have been, yes, sir, Mr. Barrett, but 28-year-old Ty, it's a different story. Hope he knows that.
He forgot the cream and sugar. Ty hustled double time to get the cream and sugar. So get salt on them fries, Ty. Now don't forget that.
I out of the kindness of my heart, I might end up doing that. We'll see if it ends up
mustard, no ketchup, no ketchup on the burger. Mustard.
Is Chuck a mustard guy? I guess that's the first thing we need to ask him. What do you put on your burger? Yeah. Fans are screaming at the radio, give him some dead questions. But again, he'll join us as we kick off that hour as well. I have surprisingly not eaten yet. I don't know if that's discipline or stupidity. Probably the latter.
Give you something to do on the ride home, right? So
yeah.
So if you're still making your way out of the Rock, heading down 40, maybe you stopped along the way, do some shopping or other things. Exit 81. What'd you call it? The OG? The OG of CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers.
The OG of CJ's. The original, Keith took it over from his late father, and it's a place that people have come to know over the years, and for good reason. Best burgers, fries, and shakes. It was one of my favorite pit stops when I was a kid driving from Little Rock up to Northwest Arkansas.
Dude, when I lived in Russellville 25 years ago, and going to Redneck Tech, there was a Waffle House in that location, and there's the one that's still it was the only interstate exchange in the country, I was told, that had a Waffle House on both sides of the interstate. There was
a Waffle Houses?
Yeah, there's one. If you go across 40 back towards Arkansas Tech, there's one there on the left, and then there was one where you're sitting right now. You had two Waffle Houses within a 4-iron of each other.
Jeez Louise. Yeah. Didn't you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
That's what used to be in that location was a Waffle House. Then they moved from there up to the other exit. But yeah.
We've had a lot of sorry, go ahead.
So you had two Waffle Houses there. So
jeez, man. I did not know that. Well, now, hey, listen, the more you do radio, the more you learn. I just learned another tidbit about Russellville, Arkansas.
Boy, aren't you the better for it.
Amen. Amen, man.
Try that line on tonight. You know, hey, honey, did you know there was two Waffle Houses in Russellville? There you go. You're right there. You're right there in front of the North 40. I mean, the North 40 Dance Club, right there behind you. You might just hang out there tonight. Yeah.
You got a line I should use tonight?
Probably not one suited for the radio. No, I'm out of the game, man. I'm 20 years next year. 20 years of marriage next year. So.
Jeez Louise, man. That's
my lines start with yes, ma'am now.
As they should. As they should.
I start with yes, ma'am.
That's a good way to put it. Well, again, Chuck's going to join us as we
that way I can stay away from Teague Law Firm and their divorce services. So.
Yeah, listen. If you're gonna call Robert, it should be. You probably don't want to have to deal with the divorce aspect of that. But he would be the guy. Again, Robert and James, and then our friends at Signature Bank. If you need some stuff with any account stuff as well. So really appreciate those two being a part and the presenting sponsors of Hog Reaction, not just today, but all year long. When we come back, Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, joins us on Hog Reaction.
Passion is something that exists and all of us.
I know we got a lot of passionate Hog fans listening right now, and I know that all of you love football season. Dave Bushkill and his team over at Eastside Liquor are the exact same way. They can take care of all your tailgating and party needs, whether it's just a few beers or alcohol in bulk. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith to check off every item on your list. Eastside Liquor, your #1 stop for Arkansas football this season. Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
This moment of relief brought to you by your local State Farm agent, who also brings relief with all your auto insurance needs.
Call Heath Roberts at 479-452-4088 for a free quote today. When a hailstorm comes to the River Valley, homeowners have doubts on what roofing company to deal with. That's why it's better to contact the experts that are local. That company is Construction Masters Roofing, a locally owned company that's ready to change the roof on your home. Construction Masters Roofing is insured and local, specializing in hail claims and replacing windows, siding, and gutters. Construction Masters Roofing, located at 225 North Greenwood Avenue in Fort Smith. Call for a free estimate, 479-648-8888 or 918-859-4724.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. For 40 years, we've had the honor and privilege of serving the River Valley. Thank you to all the great customers, contractors, distributors, friends, and family that we've had the opportunity to build lasting relationships with over the past 4 decades. A lot has changed since 1983, but our commitment to providing the highest quality service, sales, and products has not. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma. Bad Boy tractors are made tough, just like their mowers, and they can tackle any job for the small acreage farmer. With 40 horsepower and under, they're the perfect tractor for all your needs. Find yours today at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Now through September 11th, buy 1 gallon of Clark Kensington or Ace Royal paint and get one 50% off at your local Yeager's Hardware. Sale includes interior and exterior paint, limit 2.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
All right, we got 30 more minutes of Hog Reaction live from CJ's, the Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. As it will be all season long, Hog Reaction is presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank. We've gotten plenty of a reaction at this point on the McCarty Daniel Hotline from people who were at the game, watching the game, listening in the game. Well, we're going to get a chance in just a bit to talk to the guy that was calling the game, Mr. Chuck Barrett. So if you got a question for Chuck, you can send those in to us, 877-377-6963. Get some reaction again from the voice of the Razorbacks, who joins us right now on the McCarty Daniel Hotline. Chuck, welcome in, man. Before we get football questions going, what goes on your CJ's burger?
Ooh, I would say mustard and mayonnaise, pickles, onions, lettuce, and tomato.
Okay. Mustard, mayonnaise, onions, pickles, tomato. I'll relay that to the cashier, Tommy, so we get that ordered.
He's saving you a seat, Chuck.
Yeah, it's
right,
here,
good,
man. It's
good.
getting warm. Well, Chuck, your just kind of your overall assessment of what you saw in person at War Memorial today.
Well, I thought they did what they needed to do in the first quarter. They came out and they just took control of the ball game right away, and they forced turnovers on defense. They got 3 and outs early, which led to good field position. If I'm not mistaken, Arkansas had 5 touchdowns in the first half, and on 4 of those resulted in starting possession in plus territory. So I thought that was really important. Right at the start of the ball game, everything was just kind of on Arkansas, on one end of the field. And so, it wasn't perfect. Nothing is. The fact that they kind of pieced the offensive line together today, it didn't seem to affect the pass protection at all. Might have affected the running game some. They scored 56 points, so it's hard to argue with anything they did. And, man, I just thought KJ early on was flawless. I mean, his throws were perfect. And I'm going to tell you, this Tesla kid can play. I think that's one thing people talked about in their cars when they left today.
Yeah, he could catch one of our passes. You just throw it in that direction, and he'll go find it.
Just throw it on his side of the field.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Burks. He's not as physical as Burks, and he's not quite as fast as Burks. And, he's not as, Burks was Burks. But Tesla's the kind of guy that, you throw it in his neighborhood, there's a pretty good chance he's going to catch it.
Yeah. You're right about the touchdowns. 5 in the first half, 3 of the 4 first drives. I mean, we've taken some calls and some text, and we've commented on the run game. But I thought early, I'd love to hear what you think, Western Carolina was basically drawing a line in the sand. They were digging in their heels. They said, we're not going to let 5-1 beat us with the run game. They loaded the box up, and Arkansas took what they gave them, which was the edge, which was the passes and the bubble screens and the receiver screens. Is that what you saw, or why didn't the run game work as effectively in the first half as they would have liked?
Well, I think that had something to do with it, yes. I also think the passing game was easy. I mean, 12 of 12 before he
made his first 12,
an incompletion.
Uh-huh.
So, I think, where they lined up and what they committed to probably had a lot to do with it. I also think the fact that, one of your captains didn't play had a lot to do with it, too. But, those are things that, I don't view that as look, if they'd not been able to run the ball and it was, 14-7 at halftime, that's a whole different deal. But you have 35 points on the board, and you may not be perfect in every area, but that field position and those 4 or 5 turnovers they forced and, all those things add up to what in this case was a pretty big day.
I just thought it was smart play calling, smart coaching. They, the old adage of take what the defense gives you. I just thought that's what the Razorbacks were doing. When they went to the run, I understand there was negative rushing yards at one point, but as you said, the passing game was easy early. Why would you steer away from that?
Well, and look, I don't want to minimize, the fact that, the running game is really important, because it is. And they are going to have to get a better push than they got at points today. But I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be really hard to defend K.J. Jefferson right now. It's going to be really hard to defend Tesla. And, Armstrong, the way he's able to, that's a veteran player. That one play where he, ran that dig route in, and he read the defense, just sat there, and the ball was perfect, and he knows what he's doing out there. So this team's going to be able to move the ball in a lot of ways. But they didn't do it as well on the ground today as maybe they would have liked. And look, they're going to have to get better in that area. And I think there's a pretty good understanding of that.
Yeah.
Talking with Chuck Barrett here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline, reacting to Arkansas's 56-13 victory. Chuck, you were just mentioning field position. How about Max Fletcher? I heard you mention on the broadcast. I mean, he's basically punting it 50 yards at punt. I mean, what did you think about the sophomore from Australia today and the impact he had on the game?
You know, this was the first time that I've seen him in a game kick like he does in practice, and like he has in practice since he got here. I've seen him do this before, and I don't see obviously as much as they do. So, you know, I expected him to do well. I really did. And I've seen him, you know, on days when you look at him and you go, you know, if he'd do that every time, he'd average 50 yards a punt. He was pretty close today. So I'm not saying it's going to be that way all the time, and I'm not saying he's never going to shank one. And let's face it, there was not a lot of pressure today. So, you know, we'll see in that regard, but I think all the signs were pretty good.
Yeah.
Definitely a good start at this point. The other, you were talking about KJ Jefferson there. I really enjoyed listening to Quinn Grovey kind of diagnose what he saw from KJ, and even on throws he missed, you could tell KJ was frustrated with himself. I mean, Broden 6'7", Armstrong 6'4", Tesla, who you talked about, 6'4". Did you notice how KJ was either throwing it where they could go get it or it wasn't going to be caught? Because Quinn sure did today.
Well, I just think he's matured as a quarterback. I think he knows what to do with the football, and sometimes he knows what to not do with the football, and that's important too. And I just see a guy that's got command of the situation out there. Now, there are going to be games where, you know, there are going to be players like Harold Perkins waiting in the wings, and there are going to be players that aren't going to fall off of him the way some of these guys did, you know, today. So there's a bigger challenge coming for him. But, you know, he's the leader of the team. And I don't, you know, from a passing game perspective, I just thought he was, you know, flawless just keeps coming up. I really can't think of another word.
Yeah.
I thought early in the ball game, I don't think he can play any better than he did.
And
maybe he can. Maybe he'll have to. But, man, he was awful good.
It started like 9 for 9, right,
12
Tommy?
for 12. And,
wow.
You know,
12 for 12.
Yeah. To the untrained.
He was 12 for 12 for 165 at one point.
You know, I don't have a trained set of eyes that say, hey, mechanically he's doing this or that. But to the untrained eye that I have, his footwork, where last year he kind of sat on a platform, his feet still, and he had that passing posture. He seemed to be a little more agile, or his just the way he set up and the way his feet were. To me, it was noticeably different just to the average person watching. You could tell that there's been some involvement with what him and Dan Enos have been working on.
Well, he looks real fluid when he's out there, that's for sure.
That's a better way to describe it. He looked more fluid in just setting up for the pass.
You know, and these were not bad throws. You know, it wasn't like, you know, they were 50-50 balls. You know, these were put right on the money. And, you know, whatever, you know, the last thing I am is a quarterback guru, but whatever he's doing, he needs to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because
it looked better.
You know, again, there will be better defenses, obviously, but, man, he was awfully good today.
And one thing that, you know, you always note is how did you do in the red zone? The Razorbacks went 5 of 5. They didn't miss any opportunities. They were 7 of 12, if you will, 12 drives, 7 touchdowns, 5 punts is how it ended up. But every time they got a chance to score or put it in the end zone, Chuck, they did.
Yeah, I just thought, you know, they never let Western Carolina think they were going to win the game. You know, there was never a point really where anybody in the stands, I think, worried that, you know, they might not win the game. I mean, there was a little bit of a lull in the second quarter, but, I mean, they still scored 14 points in that quarter. So, and I think that going in, you know, they felt like they'd get turnovers. They felt like they'd intercept passes. You look at their numbers from a year ago and the number of turnovers that they had. They're just, you know, and the number of balls they throw. You just knew there was going to be a lot of opportunities out there. And so, you know, for them to get those picks, and again, I just think the 3 and outs early were as big a part of the defensive day as anything.
You mentioned the stands, Chuck, an announced attendance of over 44,000 people. It sounded pretty loud from the opening kickoff. What did you notice about the impact the crowd had today?
Oh, I don't know that they had an impact necessarily, but I think Arkansas would have won the game either way. But I was, there were a few more there than I thought would be, quite honestly. I didn't think there would be, I shouldn't say I didn't think. I wondered if there would be 35,000 people there at the start. And, I don't know if you did an actual head count, how many people were really in there, but I know that there were more people there than I thought might be, to be truthful with you.
Yeah. So listening to a coach visit with you after the game on the wrap-up there from the stadium, he talked about the running game. He also talked about penalties. The Hogs had 7 penalties today, so there was stuff in this tape they'll go back and watch. They'll correct, and I think probably with the way this schedule's setting up, I know the 4-game stretch has been a real point of conversation over the summer, but having Kent State in another non-conference game, I think, is probably welcome in most people's eyes to get ready for that 4-game stretch.
Well, the good news is you don't start it today. And, I know people will say, well, if you do that against LSU, you're going to get beat. Well, you might be right. But the good news is you don't play LSU next week, and you don't play LSU the week after that. You don't play them until, toward the end of the month. You will have had 3 games under your belt by then. So I don't know how good Kent State is. I suspect that, after seeing their score against UCF, they're in rebuilding mode for sure, and probably weren't all that great to begin with. So, it's a game Arkansas should win, and BYU will be a little bit better than that. And then it'll get real. So you've got a couple more ball games to try to work out what you need to work out. And you're right, nothing's perfect, and penalties are an issue, and they're an issue for everybody. So, I would imagine most coaches in America tonight are finding a couple of areas where they got to pinpoint some of their focus next week, and I'm sure Sam Pittman did too.
You look at what the offense did. I mean, you had the interception return, which took a drive away from you, but put points on the board. Arkansas had great field position all day long and started on the Western Carolina side of the 50, 5 different times in the ball game. I went back and I took the starting field position, deducted it from 100, and added all those up. You had 770 total yards the offense could have gotten today, Chuck. They put 379 together. That's 49% of the yards that were available to them that they cashed in on today.
Well, I mean, field position's important. Where you start's important because let's be honest, it improves your margin for error. If you got to go 80, 85 yards, that's tough. And particularly when you've got Cam Little, you just sort of have the mental thought that, when you start in plus territory, you're going to score. And that's kind of what I expect them to be this year. If they get the ball in plus territory, they're going to get some points.
Just looking here, they scored on every one of those opportunities. They started across the 50, so they didn't miss on one of them today. Western Carolina kind of ran the same number. They only got 29% of their available yards today, so they had almost 979 yards they could have gotten. They only cashed in on 291 of that, so the defense had pretty good efficiency. So, all right, next week, game will be at 3. We've had questions about game time being moved next week. It won't be moved. It will be a 3 o'clock start, and Learfield will be on the air at noon. We'll be on the air at 10 a.m. from the Stadium Shop, and I know it's going to be a fun week talking about it, getting ready.
Yeah, it's football season. I mean, it was fun today. It was not as big a crowd as we'll see, but the people that were here were just as excited as they would have been if there had been 80,000 people here. I mean, they were here because they wanted to be here. This was one of those games where, people came from all 4 corners. That doesn't always happen to the degree it does here, but there'll be bigger games and bigger crowds, but it was a good way to start.
And, Chuck, just remember, we do get paid double on Mondays since we're working on a holiday. So we get to react.
That's what I'm counting on.
Double the money.
That's what I'm counting on. But I'll be ready.
All right.
We'll
talk to you.
You better just stop and get that free burger on your way home.
Yeah. Tell them to keep it warm for me.
All right. It's in the foil. Chuck, we appreciate
you joining us. Good work today, buddy.
Man.
All right, guys. Thank you.
I'll talk to you Monday. Chuck Barrett with us here on the McClarty Daniel Hotline as had the call today of Arkansas's win. 56 Razorback points they put on the board, 13 allowed, and Hogs are off to a 1-0 start, Ty.
Chuck's the over. What's the over under of Chuck going to bed? 8 o'clock.
Oh,
is he gonna 7:30?
As quickly as possible. I mean, it's not that the work is physically exhausting. It is a mental exhaustion when you do what he's done. Just the focus and the preparation. You need to unwind and get some sleep. Yeah, and then do it all over again next week.
It's just game 1 down, 11 more regular season games to go. All right, we still got one more segment here on Hog Reaction presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank as we're live from CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville. If you want to jump in with us one final time tonight, just a reminder, again, we are going to be on the Morning Rush on Monday, so you can jump in with that as well. Again, this is Hog Reaction live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hey hunters, it's time to get ready for fall seasons at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Just arrived, Nut Grub Feed. Jelco has 50-pound bags of powder and pellets, plus the protein blocks. Just arrived, the Big Green Sendero automatic feeders from Texas. It's time to be hanging stands and setting blinds. Get ready for all of the upcoming seasons at Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned outdoor store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook where you can check out their work.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are keeping you rolling with the end of summer sales drive. Now through September 9th, every Rath Road-rated vehicle in our inventory is marked down with discounts up to $5,150. Plus, we're giving away a car. That's right, a car. It's fun and it's free. Just follow us on Facebook to see how you can register to win today. Big savings. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. From all these years watching baseball, I've grown accustomed to watching closers in their element. James Teague isn't closing innings anymore, he's closing cases. With almost 30 years in the business, Teague Law Firm is a general practice firm that can help you with most family law issues, divorce, custody, and child support. They can also help with criminal law, both felonies and misdemeanors.
Call James and the Teague Law Firm at 479-877-1688. That's 479-877-1688.
Online at teague-law.com.
Teague Law Firm, if they can't help you, they'll talk football.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
What makes a meal magical? Maybe it's coming home to smiling faces and the aroma of the grill. Maybe magic is the moment you finally get the secret ingredient to Mom's signature mac and cheese. Who knows, magic might just be as simple as meeting up with a friend to share a number 2 with fries and extra ketchup. One thing's for certain, magic shouldn't be hard because it's everywhere. All it takes is mixing the right ingredients, good company, great food, and ice-cold Coca-Cola. And then, voila! You'll have a recipe for magic.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank.
Besides the Razorback Nation, everybody else thought we was going to get our butt kicked. You didn't think we was going to, Chuck.
Live at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Russellville.
All right, final segment here on Hog Reaction. We really appreciate everyone joining us this afternoon. It's been fun to react to, again, a 56-13 throbbing. And Chuck kind of laid it out earlier. I mean, a lot of things went right for you today, Tommy, in this first game.
A 56-13 what?
What did I say? Throbbing?
Yeah.
What did I mean? Throttling.
Throttling.
Yeah, throbbing. Jeez, it's been a long week, man. I apologize to our listeners if I made you swerve off the road there. Throttling. It's hard it's hard to react, like when we're not in the same location. It's hard to me to like read your face like based on something I say, or if it's something you're reading, a text or whatever. So I'm gonna have to play like Scooby-Doo and guess at that point. But again, we appreciate especially our texters as well. Pinto asked a question on the McClarty Daniel hotline. What did you think of Christopher Pupal's targeting? It was targeting, Pinto. I mean, it's clear as day. Ken Williamson and his crew made a good call. He's not playing in the first half. Just don't do it again. Chris is too talented, too key a player to make silly mistakes like that. He's maybe your best line. I love what Jaheim Thomas did today, but he might be your best linebacker on the team.
I just thought it was more bad SEC officiating. All they do is hate the Razorbacks. He clearly did it because they hate the Hogs. He was told to do it by Birmingham. Greg Sankey told him to do it.
It's usually that, but it was not that this afternoon. Let's welcome in again for the final call.
It was a throbbing call is what it was.
I just gave Ruskin and Zach more content. I do this every week. It's got to stop at some point. At some point, I do need to actually buy a dictionary and a thesaurus. What's up, Ryan in Hot Springs?
Hey, man, I actually got exactly what I wanted out of this game, and that was to see the backup quarterback come in, move the ball, and possibly score. I just wanted to know that our backup quarterback can move the ball. And I understand it was the competition that we're playing, but a couple of years ago when we were there, Malik did not go in there and move the ball against UAPB, so that's something I really wanted to see. I got what I wanted, and the thing that I really liked seeing today was, I don't know if were you at the game there, Ty?
Right, I was not at the game. I planned on going, but go ahead.
So I didn't know if you could see it in between kickoffs or not. The guys were they were together, and you could just tell they were enjoying each other. And they're just, I don't know. I got a good feeling about the camaraderie on this team, and that can take you really far into the season. So that was something that excited me to see, because you want to see that your team is together, and I got to see a little bit of that today, and that's something I'm excited about moving forward. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'm excited about the win, and go Hogs.
Thank you, Ryan.
We appreciate it. Last call is to Greg, who's in Northwest Arkansas in Farmington. Greg, welcome into the Hog Reaction, man.
Hey, guys. Hey, great win by the Razorbacks. Definitely answered some questions that people were worried about. I know a lot of people were worried about the receiving core. I think the receiving core did a good job. Definitely room to move on. Same with the secondary. Had some breakdowns, but it's fixable. I'm not worried about it. So, now they go in, watch the film, bandage up the boo-boos, start getting ready for Kent State. Home opener on the Hill, and hey guys, it's a W. It's a W. That's what we asked for.
Yeah, no, you definitely take that, Greg. We appreciate you call, man. Appreciate you listening to us here this afternoon again on Hog Reaction. That's what fans wanted. I think every single fan, if you had your opportunity to take a 56-13 throttling, you take it each and every time, which is exactly what Arkansas managed to do today. You forced a lot of turnovers, too.
A win, and they covered. So, I mean, what more do you want? So, listen, was it perfect? No. Is there things that they got to improve and build on? Yes, but even as you look through the top 25, even as you watch Alabama tonight, I promise you, what did I say? Oregon beat Portland State 81-7. There were things in that game, I promise you, they're going to say, you know what, we got to work on this before we play a conference game. I mean, Arkansas's there. You know what? I am glad you don't play LSU next week, though. Put it that way.
Yes, I am too. We'll see what LSU does tomorrow against Florida State. That's the marquee matchup tomorrow. And again, a couple other SEC teams in action like Alabama tonight. Well, we appreciate Keith Wilson and his team and Sally and everyone having us out here at CJ's in Russellville, and we appreciate Teague Law Firm and Signature Bank being the presenting sponsors all year long. For Tommy Kraft, for Chuck Barrett, and all our audience, I'm Ty Richardson signing off this Saturday, first game of the season. We'll be back on Monday, 6 a.m. on the Morning Rush.
Hi, it's Ben from Wow World of Wireless.